Hey guys, it is Laura Hyatt with Team Callahan at Keller Williams, and welcome back to another episode of Coffee Talk. Remember, you can tune in every Thursday at 10 a.m. to check out the latest episode. And this week, we are taking a little bit of a pivot. We've been talking a lot about real estate and the housing market, and this time we wanted to introduce you to a special guest, Elizabeth Dubose, who is the Executive Director of the Ossabaw Island Foundation. And Ossabaw Island Foundation is a local nonprofit organization that is just near and dear to our hearts. And so we wanted to take this opportunity to just kind of spread the love. So thanks for joining us, Elizabeth.
Thank you for including me. Ossabaw Island Foundation is honored to be a part of Team Callahan's Give Back. So
thank you. You're welcome. Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, we have a Giving Back campaign. So with every closing, we allow our clients to pay it forward, and they get to select one of 5 local organizations, and we make a contribution in their honor. And Ossabaw is one of those 5 and has been for a long while now. We love, that island is just an amazing place to us.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you a little bit about it.
Tell us all about it. Yeah.
Okay. So Ossabaw Island is Georgia's 3rd largest barrier island. And just so you may wonder, okay, barrier island, what do you mean? It's boat-only access. Okay. So the island, the eastern edge fronts the ocean. So you cannot get there, but only by boat. Ossabaw is owned by the state of Georgia, and the programming is managed by the nonprofit, the Ossabaw Island Foundation. So,
yeah, and so for those of you in Savannah who have been fortunate enough to visit the physical island, it is such a special place. Is it 16,000 or 26,000 acres? I always get it wrong.
Yeah, it's a good question. So it's 26,000 acres, and of that 26,000 acres, 11,000 are the upland area, or the area you can walk around on. And then the rest of that acreage is going to be salt marsh and creeks and that meander through the island.
Gotcha. And then there's the northern part of the island that has some of these pretty amazing structures and a lot of history to it. So Elizabeth, why does Ossabaw matter? Why is this island important?
Right. Well, so Ossabaw is special in lots of different manners. First off, I'll just speak about our coast as a whole. Mm-hmm. We have 100 miles of coast, and of our 8 major barrier islands, you can only drive to 3 of them. Oh, so wow. Georgia's pretty special. We have so many of our barrier islands preserved by different entities. Could be the federal government, as it is with Cumberland Island and our neighbor, Wausau. And then Ossabaw and Sapelo and Blackbeard Blackbeard is National Fish and Wildlife, but Ossabaw and Sapelo are owned by the state of Georgia and managed by the Department of Natural Resources. So what makes it special? Where else can you go where you and your group are the only people on the island practically? So we'll clarify a little bit. So you can visit Ossabaw Island anytime you want. The beaches are open. So you could boat over and visit up into the high tide mark. The rest of the island is kind of set aside for some special uses, and this is what makes Ossabaw unique. Ossabaw is set aside only for natural, scientific, cultural, research, and educational purposes. So that was part of the sales agreement that took place in 1978. So those are the programs that we manage on the island. In addition to those, the Department of Natural Resources does have 7 managed hunts a year. So if you're a deer or a hog hunter, you can apply through them and visit. So there's lots of avenues to visit. You can come on one of our trips. Just today, we have a group of individuals that are out to look at the sea turtles, and they're going to be working with the interns from the Department of Natural Resources and inventorying sea turtle nests. So we've run a couple of day trips where you could go out, go across the length of the island, reach the beach, spend the morning there, have a picnic lunch, and then come back across and you're off the island by 2.
That's awesome. Yeah, and as someone who's been to the island multiple times for various things, taking part of one of your day trips is just a fantastic introduction to such a special place. It's a one day in and out. It's an easy journey. You'd offer indigo dyeing workshops. There's just creative days. There's sea turtles. There's some overnight trips throughout the year. There's really kind of a wide variety of options but you do have to kind of coordinate and schedule through you, right?
That is correct. And if you are not on one of our trips, for example, we have Kennesaw State University professors out there this week, and they're planning a teacher training trip. So a lot of universities, colleges, Boy Scouts, and then sometimes it's a private artist group who offer workshops on the island. So all of those fall within the use agreement, or the use agreement and the approved uses of Ossabaw. So coming up in August, we have a Lift Every Voice event. It focuses on African American history on Ossabaw Island, and this is, I believe, going to be our 5th year running this event, and we do it in partnership with the Pinpoint Heritage Museum. Our African American descendant community from Ossabaw is in Pinpoint, Georgia. So it's a great partnership. You spend the morning on Ossabaw, then you have lunch and a tour of the Pinpoint Heritage Museum. You basically are paying for the boat transportation to come on that trip. So we do that free of charge.
Yeah, it's such an amazing place, I think, with a lot of history, both from kind of what you said, just from a historical aspect, but also archaeological, environmental, ecology, all that kind of stuff. So what does the foundation do in relation to the island? Are y'all the ones who you manage all of the people coming and going in different buildings? Kind of what's your part?
That's a great question. So the Ossabaw Island Foundation has a use agreement with the state of Georgia, and we pay an annual fee for that. And that gives us exclusive use of the north end of Ossabaw Island. And on the north end, as Laura has mentioned, we have some historic buildings. We have about an 1880s clubhouse that was used as a hunting lodge. And we use that as our home base for day trips, and then it also has bunk beds for our overnight trip. We have a boarding house built in 1918, and that was used for staff housing. That's what it was built for originally. And then left over from the plantation era on Ossabaw, we have 3 tabby slave cabins, which were built as enslaved housing and then used for workers housing all the way up until the 1990s. So we have restored those buildings, and they're on the north end of the island.
There's a lot of history there. Yeah. That's crazy. So talk to me, what else should someone know about Ossabaw Island, or if they wanted to get involved with the organization, or maybe even just sign up for one of the day trips? Is there an easy way that they can kind of connect with you and learn more?
Yep, absolutely. We have a fairly easy way for you to sign up. Maybe we'll have a nice slide at the end. But basically, if you can text the word Ossabaw, which is OSSABAW, to this number, 22828. So the word Ossabaw to the number 22828, and you'll be prompted to put in your email address. And I always kid people and say I will not spam you, but that is the best way to find out about these upcoming trips. For example, we have a butterfly survey training next week that you would sign up for, and what that means is you will be a volunteer. You're going to go to Ossabaw 1 day a week, and that starts in August all the way through November. That's how you find out about our indigo dyeing workshops. That's how you find out about the turtle overnights. There's one this weekend that's already sold out. So whether it's a day trip or an overnight trip that we're offering, this is how you find out. And then also, it gives you a way sometimes to find out about our partner organizations as well, when they offer open to the public trips. Like the Georgia Conservancy does a nice service weekend, and that's a great way to come out and give back to Ossabaw, but then also enjoy your time on the island.
Yeah, I mean, Ossabaw, I feel like, is this amazing place where you can not only get a little picture of what one of our barrier islands is like, but you can also do something, as you said, to give back. You can serve to help clean up. You can take part in a research project for different things, or just take in the beauty, right? Like, there is something pretty special about Ossabaw. And hint for all you people out there, there's a little herd of donkeys too. They might be my favorite.
Yeah, they are many people's favorites. There is 8 miniature Sicilian donkeys on the island that are the end of Mrs. West, who used to own Ossabaw Island. This is a gift she gave her son, who is now a grown person, but in 1965 he received the relatives of these donkeys as a birthday present. So, and we have a little fundraiser that Laura Hyatt encouraged us to start, which is an Adopt a Donkey program. So it's an entry-level way to give back, and you get a little certificate, and then you get to come on a day trip and visit with your donkey. So it's a great program.
They're very photogenic and very friendly. They might take your lunch, so just heads up, watch out for that. But yeah, so Ossabaw is a great place. I mean, honestly, for adults, for families, that kind of deal, just look at the list that Elizabeth will connect you with when you sign up. And they have a wide variety of opportunities to kind of get involved with the foundation, with the island, and really just tune into what we have in Georgia with a very unique 100-mile coast. I mean, there's really not another place like it that has this kind of coast.
No, and undeveloped barrier islands like this.
Yeah.
And I'll mention that, people often say, why is Ossabaw so restrictive? And it is to do with our sales agreement. And what makes it interesting is in 1978, and just prior to that, during the negotiation, because Georgia's so lucky, that is the reason that the owners felt like they could set their island aside, because you've got Jekyll Island. Of course, you can drive there, and that is beautiful as well. Lots of history. Sapelo Island, you can take a ferry. Same with Cumberland Island, you can take a ferry back and forth. So we're so lucky to be able to reach so many of our barrier islands.
Yeah, and Ossabaw, I think it's so well preserved. Like, listen, personal plug, everyone should go visit at some point in their life. Like, it's a magical place in Savannah, and it's like a 30-minute boat ride from
that's right. So 45 minutes the longest, 20 minutes the shortest, depends on the tide.
Yeah, gotcha. Well, also, Elizabeth, is there anything else that you want to say about Ossabaw Island or the foundation that we should let the lovely people on the internet know?
Well, with the lovely people on the internet, basically our motto, if you will, our mission statement is to reveal the voices and mystery of Ossabaw Island. And so we look forward hosting you on Ossabaw so we can share some of that information with you.
Awesome. Well, guys, I highly encourage you to go. Make sure you text that number, get connected with the foundation. We'll also put a link in the comments so you can connect with them on social media and also their website. Elizabeth, thank you so much for joining us today. This has been great.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, make sure you tune in every Thursday at 10 a.m. for another edition of Coffee Talk. All right, bye guys.